New York is among 28 U.S. cities that are quietly sinking, and that's a big problem, scientists say. It's not just your imagination. Some of America's biggest cities are slowly sinking. A recent study from Virginia Tech has revealed that 28 major urban centers across the U.S., home to roughly 34 million people, or 12% of the population, are experiencing gradual subsidence. That means parts of these cities are literally dropping, millimeter by millimeter, into the ground beneath them. What does sinking really mean? Let's be clear. We're not talking about dramatic sinkholes or cities vanishing overnight. Subsidence typically happens slowly, just a few millimeters per year. But over time, even these tiny shifts can add up. After a decade, your sidewalk, street, or building could be noticeably lower than it used to be. And in a tightly packed urban environment, even small movements in the ground can spell big trouble for infrastructure. The Virginia Tech researchers used satellite radar to measure ground elevation changes and found that in all 28 cities, at least 20% of urban land is sinking. In most, 25 of the 28 cities, the number jumps to over 65% of the city steadily sinking downward. The hidden danger beneath our feet. You might not see the damage immediately, but the city's foundations will start to feel it. Roads, bridges, railways, and buildings are all vulnerable. Cracks may form, foundations may shift, and in the worst cases, structural integrity could be seriously compromised. Even slight downward shifts in land can significantly compromise the structural integrity of buildings, roads, bridges, and railways over time, warned Leonard Ohenhen, the lead author of the study. In fact, the researchers estimate that 29,000 buildings are already located in areas at high or very high risk of damage. What about New York? New York City is relatively lucky. It's sinking at a slower pace, around a couple of millimeters per year. But like all the cities in the study, some parts of the Big Apple are subsiding faster than others. Virginia Tech Associate Professor Manucher Shirzai cautioned that the damage may remain invisible for years before it suddenly becomes critical. Infrastructure can be silently compromised over time, he said, with damage only becoming evident when it is severe or potentially catastrophic. Texas is sinking fast. If any state should be concerned, it's Texas. Houston, in particular, is seeing dramatic drops in elevation. Some areas are sinking as fast as 10 millimeters per year. The study found that 42% of Houston's land is subsiding at 5 millimeters per year or more, and 12% is dropping even faster. They say everything's bigger in Texas, apparently. That includes the rate of subsidence. Why are cities sinking? It's not just about weight, though the massive concrete and steel structures certainly don't help. The biggest culprit? Groundwater extraction. As cities grow, so does their need for water. When water is pumped out of underground reservoirs faster than it can be replenished, the ground above can collapse into the empty space left behind. The study found that a staggering 80% of urban subsidence is linked to this groundwater depletion. Which cities are affected? Here's the full list of the 28 U.S. cities identified as sinking: New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, San Jose, Austin, Jacksonville, Fort Worth, Columbus, Indianapolis, Charlotte, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, Washington, D.C., Nashville, Oklahoma City, El Paso, Boston, Portland, Las Vegas, Detroit, Memphis. A global problem. The issue isn't unique to the U.S. Cities across the globe are facing the same threat. And in many cases, subsidence is happening faster than sea levels are rising, especially in coastal regions. Take Jakarta, Indonesia, for example. The city is sinking so quickly that the government is building a new capital from scratch, a $30 billion project, just to escape the threat of being swallowed by the ground and the sea. The bottom line: while sea level rise often steals the spotlight, the ground beneath our feet may be the more immediate danger for many cities. Subsidence is a slow-moving threat with massive potential consequences. And unless we address the root causes, especially excessive groundwater extraction, we may find that the cities of tomorrow are built on increasingly shaky ground.